Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He needs some milk.
Getting started right.
Right. Oh, reminded we hadn't played that in a while, so I wanted to get out of the way. Good morning, good afternoon, depending upon where you are. I think our good buddy Walt has joined us today, and it's afternoon time over there, right?
Good news,
it's
Dave.
4 o'clock.
So we're joined by the regular Coffee and Ham Radio crew, and as I mentioned, we have Walt from Coastal Waves and Wires, and I would encourage you to check out his channel if you haven't. He does a lot of portable operation with eclectic QRP radios. But the reason we have him on today is that he's actually over in Poland, and we wanted to talk about operating overseas or abroad or whatever you want to call that in foreign lands, and kind of explain that process. It's confusing to me, so I've never done it, but hopefully Walt will be able to shed some light. Has anybody got anything they want to bring up real quick?
No.
All right, take it away, Walt.
It's all you, Walt.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I love the stream. I really do. I not in the chat like I usually am. I like the banter that goes on both in the chat and with you guys. It's pretty awesome. But hey, real quick, I'm in Poland, and in Poland is a CEPT country. So for people, you see this a lot of questions. How do I operate when I go overseas, or can I, or whatever? Different agreement for different areas, but pretty much all of Poland and other parts of the world are under what's called the CEPT agreement, and it's really easy. It's not much paperwork at all. You can go on the AARL site. There's a form you have to bring with you. It's called Public Notice DA 16 Tech 1048. You got to have that with you.
That sounds like paperwork.
Yeah, it's paperwork. You got to have a copy of your license, with you at all times when you're operating. Those two things, and then a good old passport, and that's all it takes. And different countries are get different band privileges. If you guys remember, I think it might have been way back in the tech exam. What frequencies can you use when operating overseas? You have to use the frequencies for that area. Like I know right now on 40 meters, I can't go above 14,200 because, we in the States have all the way up to 14.300 up there, but Europe stops at 200. So, you have to operate in that area. Also, as an American, you have to at least be a general or an extra to do this. Technician is not recognized under the CPT here, but the general is just the only difference is for a general is you operate as a novice over here, which they do it right, in my opinion, over here. The novices can use up to 100 watts and pretty much get most of the band privileges. So if you're an extra and you come over here, you get full privileges. But if you're a general and you come over here, you gain something actually. Like let's say 20 meters, you get all of 20 meters. You know how in the States, as a general, it starts at 14,225 up to 14. Over here, operating, if you're a general and you come to Europe, you get the whole band from 1400 all the way to 14,350. So there are some advantages or disadvantages to that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And for that,
so now, are you a general, Walt, or are you an extra?
I'm a general, and as a matter of fact, I'm also using my time here to work on that extra, because I got to be honest with you, it's something I should have done a long time ago. I hate to say this, and this will probably cause some issues in the chat here, but I'm lazy and just didn't do it because why do I need to do it just to get a little bit extra?
What issue? I agree. Yeah. You're lazy.
Yeah, I was lazy. I'll knock it out. I'm going to take it. I'm taking it when I get back in October, and
just got to get it before Jim does.
Well, the other reason I'm doing it is I'm going to, when I get back, I'm getting I'm going through the paperwork here in Poland, because I got to come back in November, and I'll be back and forth like for a little 6 weeks interval for the next year, and you can only operate for 90 days, on the under the CPT agreement, and I might get stuck here longer than 90 days. So I'm going to go ahead and get a full Polish license, and to do that, I want the privileges of full privileges. So I'm going to get the extra when I get back to the States in October. That way, when I do the paperwork in November for my Polish license, I'll be a full blown, everything.
So what is going to be required for you to get a license there in Poland? Is it just going to be like reciprocity now kind of thing, or you have to retest, or?
No. What I have to do, I have to have my, my extra license, or for that matter, it could be the general, but my license there from the state. I have to have actually full, almost like a visa. I have to show why I'm going to be here and how long. And so I'm going to, I'm working for Uncle Sam here, so I have orders. So I'll use the orders that I have, and then I have to have a written letter from wherever I'm staying, the owner of the house where I'm at. And I'm really the guy that owns this house that we rent here. My company rents it. We've had it for like 5 years. He's super cool. He said that, man, I'll not only will I write you the letter, he goes, I speak fluent Polish because I'm Polish. I'll run this whole thing through the Polish equivalent
of
that's
excellent.
for you.
Yeah.
So he's going to work it all out for me and make it happen. So it's really cool. And I'm looking forward to that. Also, you can right off the bat try to get a vanity. I'm in the 2 area for Poland, so I'm going to try to get SP2 OGO and be close enough to my other call as I can. Yeah.
So, when you get your Polish license, now what does that do for the other countries in Europe?
It's somewhat.
Does that add extra reciprocity with the other European countries?
Yeah, I would. It's a good question. I really need to look into it. I'll be honest with you. If I'm only 3 or 4 hours from Berlin, and I've thought about going over there and operating portable. I would probably do it under my American call. Just I'd go over there. I'd just be DL, DL stroke K4 OGO or something like that, because
gotcha.
I take a lot of pride in that call sign. You know what I mean? It's just that I would stay with it if I didn't, if I knew, I'm just worried that next year I'm going to get stuck here for more than 90 days. And I don't take my radio. I mean, it's the only thing I have here sanity wise. I work all day, and then, I'm in a
what else you gonna do? You're not
house
home
by myself all day long, every night. So it's either get on the radio or drink. And I still do both.
Get on the radio.
You could drink while you're on the radio, right?
That's right. I've done that. I have done that.
We find also that there's certain members of this group that drink and order things off of Amazon late at night as well.
I get drunk and I buy things.
Right.
Chuck does that.
I do it.
I've done. As a matter of fact, I did
He's
that
talking about you.
I think it was night before last. I was drinking and I ordered something off of eBay. I shouldn't have, but it was a little SDR radio. let me show it to you. I've got this thing here, the little Malahite,
nice.
SDR thing. Oh, it's junk, man. The one I got, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I hate it.
Is that the legit one, or is that the knockoff one?
No, it's a knockoff. But there's a new one out that I've been watching, and it's I don't remember the name of it. Something SDR 101. Anyway, it's a new one. It's pretty cool, and I was like, it was like $120 or whatever, and I was like, bam, sold. A couple other things I've purchased since I've been here. My wife actually, a little while ago, we were on the phone. She goes, "Yeah, you got all these boxes in the back room where your radios are at that I keep bringing up." I said, "Yeah." I said, one of the cool things over here is I'm on full per diem, so I have a little bit of extra spending money while I'm here. And
nice.
Sure.
all those cheap QRP rigs that you saw me review and do stuff on over the last 5 months ago, that was from my last trip here in Poland. I would order, the RS 978 and all those got ordered when I was here. Well, I've got another batch of radios that I've ordered.
That's great.
But
Tune in
this
to Walt's
time,
channel for more radio reviews.
Yeah. Well, no, but this time I'm going down a different route. Okay, so I really seem to be taking people kind of think I'm a pure QRP guy, and I love QRP. Don't get me wrong. This will start an argument too, but I kind of want to step the game up a little bit, and I want to get out there portable and bring the heat, man, 100 watts or more, 50 watts. So, but I don't want to go out and, everyone you see with the, 891 and, all these other radios, I'm looking for something simple and easy. And just by chance, there's some retro radios that are pretty cool. Like since I've been here, I bought the Tech Scout 555, the one with the little modules that slide in and out. That's
That's
waiting
cool.
for me. Yeah, it's 50-watt radio, and it looks like a little tiny CB. It's kind of cool, and I'm going to play around with that. I bought a Yaesu FT747 GX since I've been here. I got that waiting on me at
Nice.
home. And so I'm going to – my videos when I get back like through October are going to be me playing around portable with, like late 80s to early 90s retro radios. Let's just hope that
that's
the
awesome.
ones I bought that all said that were great, I might have a
Right,
little,
brand new
Works
in box.
perfectly. Right.
yeah.
Hey, Walt, I know a
well,
guy.
Yeah, I'm not scared to go in and perform surgery if I have to.
It's already broken, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
Steve's all about using some old busted stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
That's right.
That's why I keep Jim around.
So you're going to see.
Thank you, Fred.
I'll still do some QRP stuff here and there, but you're going to see me kind of doing the the retro Euro thing or whatever when as time goes on here.
So that's cool. Don's asking about buying or bringing back any kind of gear or equipment that's over there. But one thing I wanted to mention is that when you're in different ITU regions and you buy gear and equipment, sometimes that equipment is locked to the frequencies for that particular ITU region. So you have to be careful, right? If you buy any kind of gear over there,
it's funny
there's frequency allocations.
It's funny you should say that. I just put up a video this morning because it's probably going to be a dud. Not a lot of people are interested in listening to long wave radio in the States, but it's something cool for me. It's fun. I came into the hobby as a shortwave listener and a medium wave DXer, and I found it's like a Polish radio for $15. And it's a long wave radio, and I've been DXing with it, listening to long wave radio, and put up a video this morning about it. And that's something, it was cheap. It was $15. I got a couple of them actually. I don't know how I'm going to get all this home, but
so when I went to Korea, I bought a bunch of junk in Korea because that's what you do when you go to Korea and you ain't never been nowhere. I ended up shipping I just shipped it. I was like, I cannot carry all this junk back on the plane.
Yeah, I might end up doing that. DHL some of this stuff back. I came over here with a lot of stuff. I had a G90. I got my X5105. I got medium wave DX antennas. I mean,
and they even let you through TSA with all that. There's some scary stuff.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason that we have the different frequency allocations, as I understand it, maybe I'm wrong, but it is because of the prevalence of long wave and short wave radio stations that are used in other parts of the world as opposed to the United States. Well, I should say ITU region 2, I think is what we're in. It's a bigger concern over like in Europe and especially like in Asia and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why they have it. I think it's awesome that you can go buy the long wave radios over there and still mess around with them. I saw a channel the other day on YouTube, and the guy has it's like a DX channel, but he only receives, but he does like broadcast FM, broadcast AM, shortwave, medium wave, long wave, and he just tracks all of these different areas. I was going to try to see if I could get him on the show. But,
is that Lloyd, DX Central?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. I follow him. He's pretty cool. I'm surprised he doesn't have the amount of subscribers you would think somebody, because his videos are amazing. He does a great job.
Yeah, I would think that there's more people into that than are. I remember when we had you on the first time, you had that loop, that AM loop antenna in the background, and you were telling us about
that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Came with me. Yep.
And you were telling us about like long range shortwave that you like to listen to.
Yeah,
it's definitely a cool thing. I don't know what Jim's doing. He's distracting me on the lower part of the screen.
I look into the chat here. I got my iPad.
Oh, now he's distracting me. He's back.
Good one, old man. Very good.
Chuck, speaking of remote operating, where are you at today?
I'm in Gilroy. It's famous. They're famous here for garlic. It's down towards, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Monterey area, which is a real big, place to go type deal by the ocean. And we're a little ways off the ocean. It was 105 here yesterday, and then last night it was 68. Quite the change. We went to we're down here for a funeral for a young man that died in a tragic accident, but he went and watched his brother play football last night. It's his first time ever, so it was pretty cool.
Excellent. Did they win?
They did not. He did really well though. He just started this year as a freshman, so
Lots of upward momentum to go. Ape, you were going to say something?
I don't remember, but so I guess the garlic festival is there too, Chuck.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's real famous for that here in California.
I crossed that off on places I will ever be at.
There was a restaurant when I
Vampire.
was in San Francisco. I can't remember the name of it. I want to say something like the Crying Rose or something like that.
The Stinking Rose. The Stinking Rose, I bet.
That might have been it, but it was like all garlic stuff. Like everything you had tons of garlic on it. And I liked it, but I don't know if I liked it that much.
So, Walt, I noticed that Morton, the Swede, who's really Norwegian.
Sinking Rose.
Because Ape got confused one time and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Morton's saying that with your Polish license, you can just do whatever you want all over Europe willy-nilly.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's good to know. Morton and I I was going to head to Norway and do field day with him, and I got stuck at work here that weekend. Yeah,
that would have been great.
Well, I think when I'm back here in November, I'm going to try to swing over there and we'll go out in the frozen tundra and be Vikings together, operating portable somewhere.
You'll go Viking.
That's all right.
That's right.
Do you have to specify when you use today, like when you're using the CEPT agreement, like what is the slash, and then what do you have to say on there?
Well, each country, like if I was in Norway with Morton, my call would be Lima Alpha / Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar. The prefix is just the countries. Like if you came to, and Morton, he could probably tell me he's done it, but if you come to the States, let's just say you came to the 4 area in the States, and you were him, you would be like, W4 / LB1.
Gotcha.
Blah blah. I know it's no different. Chuck's done it. I know I've done it too. When I operate in Hawaii, I'm K4 OGO / KH6. It's just
so you're not lying. You're not a lying Hawaiian then.
Right. Yeah. So it's just a prefix that you have to use. That is part of the deal when you're here. I just can't blurt out K4 OGO. What's funny is a lot of guys I work here. It's hilarious in the logbook. I say the call over and over, and they even come back to me, Sugar Papa / Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar. Then I get a ping asking them to verify the log, and they left off that Sugar Papa part. They're like, "Oh, I got an American here, working from Turkey." I'm like, "Sorry, man." I was like, "We got to log this the right way, So
right.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Bo KH7FC is one of our toads, and he is not in Hawaii at all.
Well, he gets a lot of people reaching out to him because they think he is at first, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we call him the Lion Hawaiian.
Walt, one of the questions was, what does it take to apply for? And I guess some of this would be country dependent. Can you apply for a Polish license without being in Poland?
No.
Could I apply for a German license without being in Germany?
No. Well, for Poland, like I just said earlier, the only way I'm getting it is I have to have a written agreement from the person that owns the property I'm going to be operating on. And that's this house I'm in. The owner is going to write me a certified letter that's saying he approves of me using ham radio gear here on his property. So
I'd imagine it's probably the same kind of deal anywhere else.
Well, I don't know. I know some Australians that have never been to the States and have U.S. license.
We know one.
Well, that's true. Hayden's got a U.S. license. He sure does.
But he has a mailing address. He has a U.S. mailing address.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened.
I don't know.
So are you doing operating when you're over there? What kind of I saw your radios. What radios you using and what
the G90? The G90 mostly, with 20 watts, and I've worked every continent except Australia with that G90 here, just 20 watts. I've tried real hard. My friend VK4KA Corey, he and I have emailed back and forth. And I get up at 5, 6, 7 in the morning. We've tried everything, and I can't make that contact with. I can hear him occasionally. It's probably the only time with this G90 that I haven't got that I could hear the person calling and he can't hear me back. Of course, he's going long path and whatever. It's pretty hard. But other than that, with this 20 watts, it blows people's minds that how well I do. The signal reports I get, they're like, "Holy cow, your audio is amazing. You sound like you're 100 or 400 watts or whatever." So done that, and I've used that. I brought the X5105 and some stuff to go down on the beach. I will say this: I'll probably will do a beach video from the Baltic Sea. The problem is, right now it's still since I've been here the entire month of August. If you think the beaches in the United States are crowded, come to the beaches on the Baltic and Poland in the month of August. It's like being on a dance floor. It's crazy. I went down there with my stuff. I was like, this ain't happening. It's crazy. It's crazy. Really, the beaches here are packed. So I'm thinking maybe here it's getting cooler. When I got up this morning, it was like 48 Fahrenheit. It was cold, and it's kind of the days now are in the 60s, mid 60s Fahrenheit. So it's cooling down. I'm going to get back down. I'm literally 15 minutes from the Baltic Sea here in the beach here, but it's just between working and then the one day I did go to try to operate portable on the beach, it was not going to happen.
That's crazy. So, what antennas do you have set up at that house?
Right now, I have an off center fed dipole. I just put a video up of that last week. I have an in-fed half wave with me. I have a regular dipole, a 20-meter dipole with me, and then I've been taking them down, putting them up, taking them down, just experimenting. And one of the cool things, one of the cool things, and I explain this in the videos that I put up here, is that I live in an HOA situation on the top floor, and I can fortunately have an antenna there. I've got like a deck metal roof fire escape out my back window, and I have a vertical there. It's all I can have. And then, living by the sea, all I do is work. I mean, you're not going to do anything but use a vertical if you go to the beach. So, sure. So here I have the great opportunity of really experimenting with and playing with horizontal, long wire antennas. So I've enjoyed that. What I've tried to do, and I did it this time, is knowing I'm going to be here for 6 to 7, 8 weeks, is I'll go through Etsy or preferably Etsy to start with, and then eBay, and look for builders, amateur builders, so I can take their antennas over and test them here. I mean, I'm smart enough to build my own. As a matter of fact, the first one I did, I built a random wire with a 9-to-1, and it was great. It worked great for me. But since then, I just like to kind of support amateurs that build antennas. I mean, I want to build, and I will when I get back. I'll order yours. I'm going to bring a car antenna over here on the next trip in November and put it up. But that's what I try to do. Kind of support the community and the builders of antennas, because. I'll be honest with you, I haven't run across any junk yet. Every antenna that I've purchased from builders and brought over here, they've been great. They've been great antennas, and the one I have up now, the off-center fed dipole, I'm really impressed with it. And
they do really well.
Cool, and what was cool is I got off work. It was Friday. I got out of work early on a Friday and got in here, and I had the in-fed half wave up, and I cut it on, and you know how bad the bands have been. It was like, it's not that good. I said, I'm going to play with this off-center fed, and Callum McCormick, DX Commander, was streaming live. I said, man, I wonder if I get this up and try to get it. So I positioned the antenna broadside to the United Kingdom, threw it up. Man, I was sweating, ran upstairs. He was still streaming live, got on, cut it on, called him, and he came back right away. I got through to Callum. That's in the video that I did on this off-center fed dipole.
That was excellent.
That was excellent, though. Man, I was pretty excited. I was like, damn right, this antenna is going to be good. Well, the rest of the weekend, it was the solar storms and everything else going on. But I got up this morning right away and clipped on 20 meters and made a contact down to Cyprus, which is 3,000 miles from here. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it's a great little antenna. And
how far is Great Britain from where you are? I'm not exactly sure.
Callum's location per QRZ from where I'm at was 777 miles.
Okay,
close enough.
Yeah.
So you do the same thing that we do whenever we go on a trip. We pack way too many radios and way too many antennas.
Jesus.
Yeah. The good thing this time, though, I'll be honest with you, is I know I'm coming back. So I'm going to leave stuff here.
Which one are you leaving?
I don't know if I'm going to leave the radios here. I'm leaving antennas and coax antennas. I get home, you know what I mean, and they COVID-2 happens and they shut all the borders, I'm like, my damn radio's over there. I'll have a fit. You know, so,
That would suck.
yeah. No, I bring the radios actually. I'll show you what I do.
Leave the 5105. It'll be fine by itself.
That's the one I would take with me. I like that radio.
So I got these two little bags. The first time I came over with the G90, I got this big case and I had the battery in it. You know what I mean? The G90, whatever, big case. And lugging that thing from Virginia to Poland was cumbersome.
Well, the G90 is almost 6 pounds by itself.
Yeah. Well, what I did on the G90 is took the front flaps off and the back flaps off to make it small, and then I just got a nice little soft case. This goes right in my backpack, and as a matter of fact, and this is my X5105 case. So I just stuck the two of them together in the backpack. Their carry-on. Power supply, everything else just went in the checked luggage, and that's how I got them here. So even though I remember with these radios, I was walking through the Munich airport, and my shoulder was about to die, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Yep. It's a lot of weight, but that's what I did. My thought pattern was, and you remember. T.O., I had a little bit of a mic issue at one time with the G90. I was like, I don't want to get over there and the G90 die on me or something. I have a problem. So that's why I brought the X5105. I'd have a backup radio. And
3 mics.
One goes down. And both of them use the same mic. But even if the mic went or whatever, I could handheld the X5105.
You can hold the 5105, like a
the
giant HT.
The cool thing I discovered, though, before I had power batteries and power packs and what have you, is that there's a little tiny, it's called a Shind Power. They sell it on Amazon. It's just a little, it almost looks like a laptop battery almost. And I have one that's like 4 amps. And I'm like, the G90, I thought would pull more, that it wouldn't work with it. So I tested it in my home for like 2 months and just drove that thing to death, and it worked. So I could basically wrap this little power supply up that I use for it. It's nothing. If anybody's interested, it works. There's a 7 amp one and a 4 amp one, but it's called Shind Power. I'm looking over at it here.
How do you spell that? That's on Amazon?
There it is right there.
Well, I just flipped over to get to it.
Yeah, there's my yeah, there you go.
Knit Power.
Yeah,
Schnit Power.
Schnit.
You're deep into Schnit.
Yeah,
so you took a Schnit with you? Is what you're saying?
That's some deep Schnit right there. But
Make sure you don't schnart.
This little thing, and this thing's adjustable. I go up from like 0 to 24 volts. So I take it up to like 15. Because with the and it'll charge my X5105 too. I can charge that with it.
Put that on the screen, Jim.
Yep.
That's really so easy to travel with. It really is.
That third one.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
The one with all the connections.
Force, Jim.
You see the
counting's hard.
There
you go.
Yeah, you want the 7 amp one though. That's the one that you could probably drive. This one, the one I have is the little 3 amp model, and the G90 has worked with the 3 amp, but I've noticed that I need to stay around 13 volts. If I get up to higher, obviously the draw is harder at a higher voltage, and it'll knock it out. But
max 5 amps. So yeah,
that'll work. Like I said, I'm running the G90 with the 3 amp one now. I think. I've done testing on the G90 with mine with a meter on it, and it usually the hardest draw I've ever seen it is like close to 5 amps. So I think even though this little Shind Power thing says 3 amps, I think you could put up close to 5. So,
now I got to order something I didn't know I needed.
Right. This is a solution to a problem I didn't know I had.
Yeah, it's great to travel with, and what's really cool about it, it could almost fit in your pocket. It's small, and you can use it to charge just about any. It comes with all those jacks.
Yeah, it looks like you could use it for anything there.
So this one says 10 amps.
You could probably plug your personal massager into that, Jim.
10 amps. I'm buying that one.
I need all the amps. I need more amps.
Yeah,
otherwise that massager doesn't go that fast.
I wonder if they're different on the inside for the different amperage ratings, or if it's just
bigger on the inside.
They just take the resistor out.
Or do they? They're selling you the same piece of crap for on all 4 versions, but you pay more because you're too dumb to.
Well, it's interesting because it looks exactly the same, and this one says it's rated for 10 amps. Yeah, that's what caught my eye.
It's identical. And this is
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, at home, this is what like my little true USDX and all that. I power all of those with this thing right here.
10 amps.
I bought it. I actually bought this to operate like my little True SDX with it, and then I just off a whim I was like, I wonder if the G9 if this will drive the G90. So I hooked it up, and it worked, and I just left it for like weeks. And I was like, okay, I got a new power supply to take overseas or when I travel with me because this is a hell of a lot easier than lugging a brick, So
what did you just whip up a power pole connector for it or something?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got the power pole in the G90, so I can just plug it in and plug it out, and then the actual power pole that's on it will plug right into the X5105 and charge it right up.
You should do a video on that power pole connector. Nothing brings out the commentators like crimping wire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did it wrong, so that's why.
You did. I mean, they were right. You were wrong.
Yeah.
Duh.
But it does get that does bring out the comments. It's all in fun, but
I think you were trolling them when you did that video. You were trolling the trolls, buddy.
And you didn't solder your crimps, man.
Well, right? I was hurt about that. That triggered me really.
Where's the solder?
Where's the solder?
All right, so we got a link to the Schnitt Power 10 amp in the in the chat. Yeah, that means they'll all be sold out by the time I get off the street and I go to get mine.
We're getting Schnitty in here. That's right.
Better hurry up, Ape.
So is that what you're using the most over there? Is the G90?
Hey, Adam.
Yeah. Pretty much all the G90. I did bring one of those little MFJ whips for 10 meters for the X5105. I thought if nothing else, I'd go out and do some walkie-talkie type thing on 10 meters. But as you guys know, 10 meters has been a total disaster for the whole time I've been here. It really hadn't been open.
Well, we've had a lot of noise lately, right? I mean, has been the big challenge. But no, the G90 is fun radio for that, and that's where I originally got mine, was just because it was like a little shrink down version, and you have the screen and the waterfall, and I just like it. And you were talking earlier about like the simplicity of some of the older radios. For me, the G90 seemed very simple to use compared to other radios.
I love this. Matter of fact, I'm working on a video right now, basically about traveling with the G90, and everybody knows I give away the secrets here, but the number one thing is that ATU. That built-in ATU on the G90 will tune anything. Anything. I don't know if you've seen. You just put it up today, Kevin.
Almost anything.
Kevin, who did the cornstalk.
Yep.
Kevin's video. Yeah.
K0KLB.
K0KLB. Kevin. He just took a tube full of creek water and tuned it with the G90 this morning. You guys need to get him on here. He's a character, man. He's a good guy.
Hey, he's got an open invitation. He says he's shy.
Oh,
that's man. Yeah. I saw a video where a guy took a plastic hose and he filled it up with seawater.
Yeah, that's what Kevin did that with Iowa Creek water. And it worked. But yeah, I told him in the comments that for Christmas I was going to send him a jug of Chesapeake Bay salt water. If he could, boost his power.
It looks like iced tea because
you're going to get in trouble with Iowa Customs on that one.
Yeah, he boosts his power a little bit.
I don't know if it'll tune a noodle, Kurt, but it'll tune a fish.
But yeah, Speedwagon.
It's funny because like when I first got the G90 and I was playing around with the tuner, I was like, my mind, because I always think everybody's out to get you. I'm like, this is fake. There's no way that it's that it's tuning all this stuff. It's just telling me that it's tuning all this stuff.
It's lying to you.
I've said this, and I'm curious, you guys, your opinion on this. I think if Zygu, I know they got everything that's going on with the G106, the good, it's bad, it's a piece of crap or whatever. But I've always said if Zygu would take the G90 platform, just like it is, and the finals and the amplifier side of it, make it 100-watt radio. It would, they crush it with 100-watt. They call it the G100. The G100. The Zygu would crush the market with that radio if it performed as well as the G90. It would be the ultimate radio for me. I mean, everything you needed, a shack in the box that you could take portable. I mean, I'm sure they're going to make it a little bit bigger but that'd be the ultimate radio.
Well, I mean,
if you
I
take
kind of
that
thought that's
100
what
watt amp of theirs, right, and squeeze it together with that, you
I've
wouldn't
done
need a
that.
tune.
It's a pain, man. I've got the XPA 125B. Taking that thing portable, you might as well just go get a 100-watt radio.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if Zygu just squeezed all that into one box,
yeah,
charge $750 or something like that, they would they would have something there.
Yeah,
that's the reason I take my A57 versus taking the 705 or the KX2 with a 100-watt amp. It's more stuff to take, and it's just easier to throw that in. It's just because it's 100 watts and it does everything. So,
Abe, didn't you have a G-Sock? Morton.
No, they were going to send me a G-Sock. They wanted me to buy it at like a discounted rate, and I got to tell you, I signed up to buy it, and then a couple days before they were going to ship it, I called the guy and said, "Hey, I don't want it anymore." And that was pretty much the end of my relationship with Zygu. Because I just started to worry about the quality of it and was having problems.
It's big.
Right.
I think that the G90 is like an amazing radio that they put out at a fantastic price point. But a lot of the other stuff, I'm still on the fence about. Like the 6100 is a really cool platform, because it runs Linux and it's got all the different sound card and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Like that's, to me, is like a unique platform product that they're putting out. But a lot of their other stuff, I'm just like the G-Sock and the 106, I'm just not impressed with, to the point where I, just wouldn't want to buy it. But like I said, the G90 is fantastic radio. I sold mine. I traded mine to Thump. And I still think about if I should have done that or not.
Hey, I'm going to head out of here. We got to start getting ready. So everybody have a great day today. 73 ball.
Good seeing you, Chuck. Take care.
Talk to you guys later.
Take care,
See you,
brother.
Chuck. Good seeing you, brother.
He's gone.
This is like Brady Bunch. I like this.
We could do this too, right?
There you go.
See, the Swedes, right? He regrets selling his G90. But to me, like like I said, the G90 was very easy to use. Right? I had no problem. Well, to figure an FTA was a little bit of a challenge. And I would like to see them get to a single interface as opposed to the cat port being in the head of the radio, and then the audio out is in the body. Like that part of the platform is a bit of a pain, and having to update the firmware in two different places.
You know what the real problem that Zygu has is that their products aren't evolutionary. Every single product is a unique thing unto itself that didn't learn from the thing previous. Like the G90, you can see they stole a little bit of the waterfall interface for the X6100, and then the G106 comes out and it's like, oh, new product. We're just going to forget everything we already knew.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree. With the major manufacturers,
the
you see evolution.
I thought the X6100 was a great form factor and a great platform, and I loved the screen on it. And I think it's where the G90 should go, because my complaint with the G90 would be for these. I can't see that thing. It's too small.
I know. I've said this before about the X6100. I would have bought that the day it came out, until I read that it only operates 10 watts under external power. If that thing would have been battery in the hand, complete, just like the X505, because I'm an SSB guy, man. I want my 10 watts.
Yeah, right. We got it to work 10 watts on the internal battery, but at your own risk.
Yeah, at your own risk, right? If that radio, if they would have, taken that to somehow or another, supply it with enough to get it at 10 watts on battery power. Hell, I got that USDX I have, the little red brick, the cheap $150 radio, will do almost 10 watts on its battery. So
the FX4C,
I would have bought that. I would have bought that radio day one. I haven't bought that radio for that reason. I don't need another small 5-watt radio that I go portable with an internal battery. I've got a bunch of them.
Well, the thing with this 6100, one of the reasons I didn't buy it is that when you look at it, there's a lot to that platform. Like it has its own. It runs an OS. It's not a microcontroller like device like you get in a regular radio. It's running a full blown OS. It's got that pretty advanced touchscreen display. You have the Bluetooth. You have the Wi-Fi. To me, I was like, I don't know if Zygu is a mature enough organization to be able to put out that much technology well, right? Because it looked like it was a bunch of stuff that was kind of cobbled together. Like when you were peeling through the OS,
right.
I mean, it was clear that they were not the ones that were tailoring that version of Linux for that device. They had to outsource that, which outsourcing's fine, but I just didn't feel like they had the engineering capability to pull that off.
I agree with you. It was, when it was released, it wasn't a complete product. And I don't know that it's a complete product today. I sold mine. Richard bought it, and he loves it. KO4OBR. Richard's up in Birmingham, and he loves it. He goes portable with it all the time.
Better in Birmingham,
I guess. He's got mountains up there. I got no mountains. I'm in a bowl. But I never, the interface, the whole thing was just it didn't suck, but it wasn't very mature at all, I thought.
Well, when I got the G90, a lot of people were like, "Don't do it. Don't get that G90." Blah, blah, blah. Now the G90 is one of the more popular radios that is out there. Everybody loves them. I was super duper happy with that purchase.
If I was going to buy a radio today, though, and my choice was the G90 or the 6100, I would still buy a 6100. If I was in the market for either one of those kind of radios, I'd buy 6100 instead.
Okay, but what would you be using it for? What modes? What would you be doing with it? I mean, are you talking
sideband?
No, seriously, sideband.
Occasionally mobile, portable, whatever, but not a lot.
I'm just going to tell you from experience, from a sidebander, that's pretty much all I do is sideband, and have traveled with the G90. The 20 watts, I can go from 5 to do whatever. The 20 watts is just. It's amazing. I mean, you don't tell much difference. I hooked that G90 up to my 100-watt amp, and I could talk to somebody, cut the amp off, go back to 20, and they're like, it's hardly tell the difference. You know what I mean? Maybe 1 dB. It's not a whole lot. So that's the magical line, I think, is the 20 watts. And it's awesome. So for that reason,
that's a good point.
I would get the G90.
The display on the 6100 is so much better, though.
Yeah, it's like 1, 5, 20, 100, 600, 1500. Those are the levels where you start to feel the power. You can tell there's a difference.
Yeah, and that was the one. I don't know who decided to make that a 20-watt radio in the engineering.
That was me. I told them.
that was a genius. I mean, that was genius because. Who knew, and I started using it I bought it to be a QRP radio. And when I cranked it up to 20 and saw, oh my God, this thing is getting out, I'm like, okay, cool. This is awesome. So.
Yeah. I was looking at the Yaesu 891 and I was looking at the G90 were the two radios that I was trying to make a choice between. I know people are going to be like, you should have got the Yaesu. It's an awesome radio. And it is an awesome radio. But for me, the price of the G90 with the tuner,
half the price.
Yeah. Yaesu 891 plus tuner plus pan adapter.
More than half the price.
Plus sound card.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it being basically, the waterfall, everything. I know it's the size of a quarter, but you still, having everything there. For me, like I get home from work, grab my G90. I live right in the harbor. I run across the street, connect it to a battery, throw an antenna up. If the antenna sucks, I hit the ATU, boom, and I'm operating. And I operate more portable than I do in the house. I like operating portable. To me, it's fun. So for that matter, I've thought about an FT891 and a lot. I mean, I've almost made a intoxicated purchase of that thing a few times, and somebody told me the little angel and the devil popped up. I'm like, okay, I better back off of it.
You need another radio, buy it,
Walt.
I've come so close to buying that radio.
Come on, Walt, buy it. So let me ask you a question.
You have my permission to buy that radio.
That's right. Okay. We all forgive you for any future sins if you buy that radio. Where does your 5105 come in versus the G90? Why do you swap out? Is the 5105 just kind of a backup emergency radio now if the G90 dies?
It is here. That's why I brought it with me.
Right.
When I'm traveling. It's such a small, easy radio with an ATU also built into it. It's a great travel little radio. But when I'm home, the only time I take the 5105 out is if I'm going to the beach and I've got the advantage of, operating portable on the beach. Because, 5 watts QRP is great. And everyone, everyone says you can do it with 1 watt. Yeah, you can do it with 1 watt from, Virginia to Iowa or Virginia to Florida or whatever. But when I'm operating QRP or portable, I want to be talking to Slovenia and Italy, not North Carolina. You know what I mean? Right. So
there's people in North Carolina.
They're the worst, man.
I'm a DX. Oh, I love North Carolina. I live 17 miles from the North Carolina border. Matter of fact, a lot of my videos are on the Outer Banks in North Carolina. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I consider myself a portable guy, but I'm also a DXer. It's one reason why I don't do POTA yet. I probably will, but the majority of my Virginia Beach videos when I'm operating portable, that's Park K1299, and I could go there and operate portable, which I will do. But the thing is like, I don't want to spot myself operate portable and everybody trying to get that park that are, I don't want to sound like a snob. I hate to say that but when I'm there, I'm trying to cross the Atlantic. I'm not trying to operate the States per se, right. But I do need to, like the internet really needs another POTA video, but YouTube
copy that, brother.
Wait till mine comes out.
But I will get down to K1299 and activate and do a POTA activation from there. If you go to my POTA when I log in, I've never activated. I'm 100, but I got a lot of logs from POTA guys, and I think it's cool. I mean, I don't want to start a war here. I think POTA is a really cool thing, and it's really, especially for SSB, it's really keeping it really going in the States or whatever. But it's just right now, it's not what I try to do when I'm at the beach. I'm trying to DX. I'm trying to skip across the pond, and that's why I'm not a POTA guy now.
Dennis got up early. What's your next radio, Walt?
My next radio on a new one?
What are you jonesing for?
The FT891.
The 891 still there.
You have my permission.
Still there.
That is the droid you're looking for.
Yeah. And you know what? I've got some ATUs. I got some. I could throw it with there and go.
So why the 891 over the 7100?
Size, price. I like the price of the 891. The size, it looks to me like more, form fitting for what I do. When I go out on the beach and operate portable on the beach, it's a hell of a lot of weight to lug over a sand dune and down to the beach. So I'm trying to get something that's not going to, kill me. And also, I don't want to spend too much money because if it gets sandblasted, which my G90's taken, that's one thing I say about it. It's held up well, but that thing's been through hell, man. I tell you, it cleans up well, but it's been tough and rugged. I bet you if I unscrewed everything and emptied it out, I guarantee
it's got sand in it.
I guarantee you there's part of the Outer Banks of North Carolina inside that radio. Travis.
Once again, North Carolina. Rearing its ugly head.
Well, that's where the best barbecue's at anyway. We all know that.
So what are these guys saying? We have Kevin's using the K-Toads.
Yeah, Kevin's using K-Toads on 14328. He's too close. I can't hear him.
There's a lot of Kevins in our lives. Which Kevin are we talking about?
This is Kevin, the Illinois teacher, Kevin.
Okay.
And then KB9 VBR's on 7262. Let me see if I can hear him. He's probably too close also. Talk amongst yourselves while I tune up.
This is the end of my half wave is sitting right here. I'd have to get up and plug it in. I had unconnected it.
Park Sunny Air, CQ Park Sunny Air, KB9 VBR, Kilo Bravo 9er Victor Bravo Romeo calling.
See, I can hear him.
I've worked him. I worked him from I was portable. It actually was in a video of mine. So it was kind of cool.
Kevin will be not Kevin. Michael will be on the show here in a little bit.
Yeah, 22nd. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the sheet now because I don't memorize this stuff either.
Yeah, it's hard to. I forget half the time what the show was going to be the day before.
Yeah, 917 KB9 VBR is going to be on the show. 924 Callum's going to be on the show. 929 DX Engineering Tim Duffy's going to be on the show. I mean, this is just a star-spangled web stream that you guys tuned into here.
We kicked it off with the international superstar Walt.
I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you stepped down to the minor leagues and gave me a call up.
We have you got that, and I'll get the music going. You're
gonna
have to dance, Walt.
He needs some milk.
Sounds great in headphones.
He needs some milk.
Thanks, Steve.
That's my favorite. He needs some milk. You know what? You know how a song gets stuck in your head? After this is over, I got some friends coming over. We're going to watch the Alabama-Texas game. About the third beer, I'll be going, he needs some milk. It'll be stuck in my head. It's like an earwig.
What's funny is I say that when people, somebody's like, oh, I don't feel well. I'm like, he needs some milk.
All right, Abe, do it up again.
He needs some
tequila. He needs some tequila. There we go.
I got to get in here.
He needs some milk.
Thanks, TC.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. YVY is going to make some pictures of us.
My barista just brought me a refill.
Of what?
Hey, Maisie.
Coffee in there.
Hey, it's 10 minutes to 5 here, guys. I'm good to go in 10 minutes.
You can switch up. You're not drinking coffee at that point of the day.
I just went shopping this morning. I got a refrigerator full of different beers, so got some Paulaner Munich Weiss beer. I'm gonna be good to go there. I'm a wheat guy.
So yesterday I wanted some pizza. I like pizza. So I drive up to the pizza place and I go inside and there's this dad who must have been there drinking beer all day. So like I walk in, they have like a vestibule kind of thing, I think is what they call that. And this guy's like, yeah. When I go in there and I'm just like, look at him, he's like, you watching the game? You watching the game? And I had no idea what he was talking about. And I'm like, which game? And he's like, the high school game. And so we had a high school football game last night. And this guy must have been up there getting tuned up all day. I actually said something to the manager about it. I said, is this a normal thing for you guys? And he's like, yeah. So I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, look, I love drinking beer as much as the next guy. But if you're standing in the vestibule tuned up like that at the pizza joint, it's probably time to make a call.
That's the best place to watch the game.
That's right, Hollywood.
But he was doing
my
that.
My wife calls it ham coffee. She said, "Is it ham coffee this morning?"
It is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my wife's the same way. Is this ham coffee nation?
Ham coffee nation. She did switch up today. She threw out.
My wife.
Today she called it ham biscuits.
My wife's caught on. When she gets pissed off at me now, she'll go QSL.
Okay.
Yeah, got you, baby.
Do you understand me?
Yeah, QSL. I go, yes, ma'am. I got you, baby.
5x5, baby.
Yeah.
You QRZ right now to the shop and get that vacuum cleaner fixed.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I got a good wife that she supported me like tenfold over, ham radio and YouTubing and all that stuff. And she goes, "What are you doing today?" I was like, "I'm gonna go make a video and go operate board." She goes, "Okay, yeah, that's important to you." And
get out of the house. Get out.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
Right.
I am lucky. My wife's amazing. She's awesome.
My wife knows exactly where I am all the time. Out of her hair.
Yes, that's exactly right. I'm either back here or I'm out in the shop. She's good with it either way because I'm not talking to her. So that's good.
Yeah, my wife was she's really supportive about all the stuff. But yesterday she said to me, maybe you could clean up the front room. Like when you walk in our house, we have like the dining room and I guess you call it a sitting room. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, there's a giant solar panel in there. There's a big battery. There's all these electronic gizmos. And she's right. It's filled with crap that has come into the house but hasn't made its way down to the YouTube studio to get filmed or videoed. And so I'll probably have to clean that up a little bit today. But I was thinking about, I was like, yeah, there is a 4-foot solar panel. Like, right, you're walking.
You're walking out. Julie's pretty good too. We have a dining room that we never use. It has a fabulous giant dining table that I think her grandma gave her or something. I don't know. It is currently 3D printer repair station. And and it's been that way for a while. Because when it's just me and her, when the kid's here, we all eat in front of TV tables. And when the kid's not here, we eat in front of TV tables.
Like every American family should.
Yeah, right. I mean, we never sit down at the dining table. Right? Occasionally, Macy and I, when she's here, we'll eat breakfast at the kitchen table or something. But yeah, we don't ever sit at that dining. Nobody sits at that dining table with the fancy chairs and all that. So,
well, I got a question for you guys. You guys were asking me about rigs or whatever. I'm curious, and I mean this. if you knew you were going to be overseas, in my situation for 6 weeks, maybe 2-3 months at a time, what rig would you bring? What would you bring?
FT891. Sorry, Walt.
No, that's what I wanted to hear. No, seriously.
Yeah. I got to agree with Steve on that. I'd have to buy one, but I'd bring an 891.
This is what I do. I take the 890. I take the 891 with me to do serious radio, and then I take whatever radio I want to play with.
That's good. I'll probably have an 891 in the mail tomorrow.
Yeah. Mike, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hit it, Steven.
Hold on, I got it.
All right, 8-1.
He needs some milk.
Woo. He needs some cooling fan now. It's too much dancing.
So
Baptists are going to find out.
Powering that 891, T.O., you seem to be driving me in that direction. I'm seriously thinking that may end up being the direction.
So, Denko
don't forget, I got to fly with this too. So
Denko makes these fantastic batteries. This is a Nanook 910 case, and then inside the case, come on, open up.
They probably ain't getting that on the plane though, T.O.
I carried that. Ooh.
Yeah, that's totally going on the aircraft.
The limit through TSA is 100 watt hours. We can.
So this is 9 amp hours
with no factory label. That looks perfectly good, man.
But how many watt hours is that? The watt?
Well, Dennis,
it's not like TSA is going to check it, right?
The sticker fell off, Adam. Dennis, I wanted the Canada sticker on the case. It fell off. It wasn't a good sticker.
Yeah.
It's 108 watts.
Yeah.
So like you just do your volts times amps. Now I just use 12, but that's probably got a nominal voltage of 12.
There you go.
Something. Right. Yeah. So he's saying it's just over 100 watts.
Yeah.
So
I'm a battery guy.
But that's to take it into the cabin, right? There's different rules around if you're going to send your battery via checked luggage or something.
You can't send them.
You can't check them. Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
You have to carry it.
Check them.
Your best bet's probably going to be to order a battery while you're over there.
If I was flying, I'd take a Bioenno with a big fat label on it and a website I could pull up that looked legit. And I mean, I would cross the I's and dot the T's for air traffic. But I took my X6100 in its go bag, which is right here, on the airplane, no problem.
Greg, I think that is a great plan for getting on the airplane with a battery.
Yeah.
Not one of those, not an old alarm clock, because that totally looks sketchy. A digital watch looks so much more professional.
So, any of you guys know the exact the transmit draw amperage wise on the 890?
Perhaps if we had some website that we could look at that had some information.
Well, I've actually done it. It's no more than 8 amps at 100 watts.
No lie. Then we could use the 10 amp Schnitt power. I could buy the 10 amp version of the
I think you could.
Power.
So before you go too far down that path, keep in mind that the FT891 is a mobile radio, not a portable radio. So it's not designed to operate. It does operate off of a battery, but its best shining moment is installed in your car. That was what Acer made it for.
Right. You know what? For that matter, I could come here to Poland and just buy a car battery, and charge.
Yeah. Honestly, you'd probably be a whole lot cheaper buying a car battery. Yeah.
We just order it from M&S because I saw that the British sterling pound is at its lowest in 37-year history today.
Give the king a moment; it'll probably go lower.
Well, Don was sending me some links for. I think it was M&S. They were for a radio that they were selling over there that I was interested in. It was cheaper to buy it and pay $50 shipping to the U.S. than order it from a U.S. company.
Wow, what radio was that?
It was one of those SDR radios. I'm drawing a blank on it. It wasn't the Anon. It was the other one that he's always pushing on everybody.
The Hermes?
No, I have that one. It was the. Heck, I can't remember.
It's a G106. You've been shining us on. You want a G106.
Sun. It was the Sun SDR.
Okay. I still think you want to secretly want a G106.
Martin Lynch and Sons.
The best thing about the 891 is the DSP filters. I mean, you turn the DSP and the noise reduction and all the other stuff on, and it just absolute dead silence until somebody talks, and then back to dead silence. You lose that fatigue that you get from operating the radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sold. My affirm count is down to 0. It's getting ready to get back up.
Yeah, it's like because I had built a portable kit with an 891 with my 891, which I've sold. I don't have the 891 anymore, but it was running between 4 and 8 amps on 100 watts sideband. So obviously, if you turn down the volume a little bit, it's going to be a whole lot less. And I was running it on a 12 amp hour Bio-NO, and I don't have any problems with it at all. So you could run it. You should be able to run it on that Schnitt power.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would push 100 on the Schnitt power. I mean, you could try and see how well it holds up.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that 10 amps is real 10 amps or one time our engineers were drinking and they said the meter tipped 10 once. So
one thing I would not recommend with the 891 is the FC50 tuner. It's a nice tuner. It's a nice looking package. It fits it looks like it came from the factory because it did, but it's only a 3-to-1 tuner for that price. Yeah. I'd rather get an LDG or an MFJ or even one of those ATU 100s off of.
I have an ATU 100. That's probably what I would throw in the bag, because if it broke and died on me, I wouldn't feel like I lost anything, So
I had the I had the LDG tuner with the Yaesu cable, so it would all auto tune and everything.
Right.
And I was using a. Do you do digital at all, Walt? Or you just?
No. I'm strictly an SSD guy.
Phone guy.
I'm a phone guy. I am trying to learn code. I actually learned code for the novice back in 1975, 76. I was I'm trying to remember. I was at 5 words a minute, but then cars, girls, life.
Right, girls interrupted a whole lot of things.
Yeah, I let go of it. So I think I could get back up and run in CW.
So you're not doing FT8. You're not planning on, you wouldn't do FT8.
I'm not an FT8 guy. I'm not an FT8 hater, but I'm not an FT8 guy. It's just not.
So you'd need a key and the radio.
Right.
I had added on one of the digital dinguses to mine. I can't remember which one. Not the DigiRig. Oh, Signal Link. I had the Signal Link on it, and all that stuff wired into one battery. Had a 12-volt powered USB hub to drive the Signal Link and hook up the computer to and the radio and all that junk, and all in one Harbor Freight suitcase, Halliburton style briefcase thing.
Right, right.
Adam's asking about the 891 or Nikon 718 for a home base station. I would take the 718. I take the 718.
Really? Why is that?
Better screen.
Well, I don't know. You could probably argue this. You could probably argue the screen and all that kind of stuff.
Bigger screen. That's fact. That's
fact. I just think I would.
Are we talking about the same radio?
718 is like a.
I'm pulling it up.
All right.
It's their bottom end.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
And it's about the same price as an 891. Yes, that screen is 10,000 times bigger.
It's bigger, but it doesn't display more information. That's what I.
No, but that's a storied radio. You know what I mean? I would take that one.
I agree for home use.
For home use, like you said, the form and function for going portable.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for going portable, I think you'd have a hard time beating the 891 as a sideband operator. The only thing that you could really ding it on is tuner. Right?
There you go, portable 7200. This is the 718, but in big boy clothes.
Well, that's the ruggedized, militarized,
and you can get this in camo.
And that is a sexy radio. I still want one. I have no use for it, but I want one.
Well, you can only buy they've been discontinued for a while.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And everybody who has one knows they've been discontinued for a while and is so proud of theirs.
That is pretty sweet.
They're telling their wives, I've got it listed on eBay. See right there, but they're asking like way more than it's worth.
I'm looking
now, what about that?
That looks like a. Do you remember? Anybody remember the Johnson telephone CB radio back in the 70s? It was like shaped like that. The front end of that.
Hey, Gunter.
It kind of reminds me of.
Morning, Gunter.
You mean the desktop, the big ass desktop CB that was like that?
Yeah. It reminds me of that.
What's crazy is people would have those in their living rooms, like back in the 70s when CB was big. Yeah. That was
we did.
It's like, instead of nowadays they have a computer, but back then they have a big old desktop CB radio.
Yeah.
My dad had one of those big desktop CB radios, portable, mounted in the car, and one at home on the desk somewhere at home. I remember it.
How about it? Skip land. I know you heard him say that. Come on, skip land, skip land.
Well, the thing is, like, if people in the CBs generally are all having fun. Ham radio, it's a little. They're arguing about
arguing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was flipping around and listening to some CBers on the power guys or whatever, and I was like, "Geez, Neely, I'm out of here." I just go to, like, what is it? Channel 37 or 38 lower sideband as they use, whatever, and listen to those guys. Holy cow. I mean, good for them. They're having fun. And I had a good time listening to them. There's actually a YouTuber that's a CBer. I watch his videos and I kind of hate to say it. It's like a guilty pleasure. You know, oh, this is great.
Well, see, the thing is, a lot of people want to clown on the CB guys.
Exactly right, Hollywood.
And they're like, oh, they're all appliance operators. Those guys who are illegally running 1,000 watts on their CBs, they have some pretty nice setups in their cars.
Yeah.
Some of these boys know a little thing or two about engineering. I can tell you that.
There's I guess they call it. It's online. It's like it's not real. It's like fake Hamsphere. You guys ever seen Hamsphere?
No, Heard of it.
Yeah,
it's everything about ham except for the airwaves.
And they actually model propagation and everything. So it's like you don't have to get a license. You can operate ham radio on this thing, Hamsphere. Well, the story is, so on one of my videos, this guy just started like laying into me, telling me what I was doing wrong, what I was doing right, or whatever. so I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell is this guy? So I did a little, snooping to see him and found that he was a Hamsphere guy. The guy was never licensed or whatever. So he's been operating, like in his fantasy land for like, I don't know how many years or whatever, and that's how I found out what Hamsphere was, because, and the guy's, his name or whatever on YouTube, he had his call sign was there. I was like, that's a weird call sign. So I Googled it and found him, and then this is where he lives. And he was telling me everything I was doing wrong when I was operating portable. So the guy's probably never operated outside of his laptop.
But see, the thing is that if you're on the portable and you're communicating with somebody, then you're obviously doing something right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. But the other one is that when guys get on there and they're like, oh, well, you have to adjust your compression, son. Your compression's all wrong. If you go into you know what I mean? It's like, leave me alone, bro.
Yeah, Steve, this is a Nuggets episode or something here, man. This is.
Get us on the air.
It's not, you can't get on the air. It's like all on the network. Right. It's all like, it's like,
I think it's all network. Yeah. With a special Hamsphere call sign. So you can talk to actual hams without having a license.
Oh, it's a money grab. I looked into it. So these guys, you can buy. You have to pay. You could buy locations and go operate. Like I saw the one up there was like Cyprus or whatever. You can pay like $19.99 and operate from Cyprus for a week or whatever like that. Like, the hell you mean operate from Cyprus? $19.99. This whole thing is inside of a computer somewhere. It's not real.
Right. Right.
Yeah. It's like, geez.
Well, it's LARPing. It's LARPing for hams. Is that what they're
doing? Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
You get your Hamsphere 4.0 transceiver, boy.
That's it. And listen, this is probably really cool. I mean, I hate to sit here and knock something that I know someone put a lot of time and effort into developing this. So it's probably pretty neat if you're into it. But, when you got guys over there from that world jumping over into the real ham world and telling us everything we're doing wrong, dude, you're in fantasy land, man. You need to
play. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so Don's talking about his IC7000, and everybody else that has an IC7000, this is not directed at you. Don, how's the drift on that thing?
Oh, boy.
I love this radio. This would be a great radio.
Are you selling one, James, or did you already sell it?
Which one? What is
the IC7000?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was a 706. I don't know what
I got a 706 I'm going to sell.
But you have it posted for sale, don't you?
Yeah. I haven't posted it everywhere. It's in our swap meet. I don't think I posted it in Joe Brett's or HRCC or anything yet.
I got you.
The problem I'm having is a lot of people want the UHF VHF model, and this one's the VHF HF VHF model, which it works fine.
I would like the modes that I won't ever use on that radio.
Right. Yeah.
If you're going to get it loaded.
And it's actually, if somebody does want to buy it, I got a great deal because I'm going to put in an LDG tuner with it that I already have.
Well said.
For that radio. So,
are you doing any UHF and VHF over there, Walt?
Not here, no.
Didn't bring a Fang with you?
You know what? I thought about it, but then I have listened in over here through SDR, and my Polish is horrible. I can say hello, goodbye, thank you. Can I have a drink or whatever?
QSL.
And QSL. Getting on here would be troublesome, to say the least. I mean, I'm a Fanger back at home, and I can see my local repeater out the window of my living room. So that's all I need.
Nice.
Front end overload.
I just check in right
now.
There,
Do you do 2 meter 440 at home?
I do at home. Yeah.
Okay. Because there are certain people in the chat who think that HTs are a waste and people shouldn't use them. Bad. And they'll make your spine curl and lose the war for the Allies.
You mean get off my lawn, Don?
That would be that guy. That guy.
Yeah.
Don's got a new nickname now.
Ape, you're on a roll the last couple days, brother. I'm just saying.
My usually 2 meters, and as a matter of fact, when I last Christmas I went to New York City for the week take my wife. We go every year at Christmas, and there's a new building there. It's the tallest observation deck now in North America. So I snuck a Fang up there, got on the 2 meter call-in frequency and called CQ, and picked up the other Mike. You guys know Mike Robinson down in Jacksonville. He was up there.
SXB.
Yeah, he was. I can remember. He just changed his call. I can't remember it now, but he was up in the Bronx, and I called CQ on the call frequency 2 meter and was getting out. I figured, hey, what the heck? I could, I was 105 stories in the sky on an observation deck, and I whipped that bad boy out of my pocket. People were looking at me like, what in the hell is this guy doing? And they made a call on it. It was fun, and so it's kind of neat.
You probably don't know the answer to that because you're not doing digital voice either, are you, Walt? You're just doing SSB phone mostly.
From here. I mean, I really, it's something I'm really interested in is digital voice. I think I was watching you guys before, and
we know some people.
We got people.
Yeah, that the one DV, free DV. Yeah, one of my QRP transceivers has built-in free DV. And I was kind of hoping that I could get that up and running. Just haven't had the time. I would say I haven't been home. So, yeah.
When you set up your Pi-Star hotspot, you have to pick the country that you're operating in, right? Because aren't there certain Wi-Fi regulations that you need to? So that would be the only thing that I would think that you need to worry about, Richard, is you have to regionalize your Pi-Star.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do all that. I'd probably just take my Pi-Star with me and act like I was local.
Well, the thing is you're always riding dirty. See, I don't do that.
I am. Turn it down. Put an attenuator on the antenna.
I'm a rule follower.
Yes,
you know what's fun? You know what you're talking about. This is kind of a bridge between what you guys are talking about and getting back to the fake ham radio thing. But not too long ago, while I was here, I had a friend. We were trying to make a contact, HF contact, that didn't go through. So we were talking to each other with our phones via Echolink, and doing it that way. So that was kind of cool. We just found a repeater and bam, and used our phones to do that. So that was cool.
Well, see, I think that's one of the things that I guess old school hams would look down on, but it's the whole scheduling or the communication. Because like with certain people, I've been like, hey, all right, I'm on this frequency, I'm calling at this time frame, over the computer or text message or something like that to do a scheduled contact, which does make it a lot easier to actually do. Then if you just get on there and be like, all right, I'm gonna start calling CQ 120 at around 4:00. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier to.
That's how Morton and I. He's in Norway and I'm here in Poland. We've talked. We messaged each other. Hey, where you at? I said, all right, I'm gonna call CQ on 14239. All right, boom, and we made contact. That's how.
Right,
we did it.
But see, like in case he could be hearing somebody that you can't too, right at the same time, so that way to get a different frequency.
K-Rock.
K-Rock. I worked in Southern California for a while. That was the jam when I was there. K-Rock, K-R-O-Q. So
I knew that it couldn't be a Virginia station, but
no, not with the K.
Not with the K, right?
K-Rock, the rock of the '80s, right there, baby.
We bought a Honda Pilot a few months ago, a new Pilot, and I was messing with the radio in it yesterday. And what I noticed is if I go to a certain frequency on the FM broadcast, it will tell me that it's picking up 2 or 3 stations at that frequency, and to pick which one I want, and then it will lock onto that. Yeah, I've never seen that before, but I guess it makes sense because a lot of these, like when I get into my Jeep and I turn my radio on and I start driving to work, like the radio station I'm listening to here, by the time I get to work, it's a different radio station because there's a couple of different FM stations around here. But I guess the Pilot has better selectivity, and it can say, all right, even though there's 2 frequencies on this, 2 broadcasts on the same frequencies, I can pick this one. But it's all digital now, right?
So you're getting all the radio stations in Nebraska at the same time on the Pilot.
Not all of them, all the ones on that one frequency. I think it was 4.
There can only be 4 or 5 radio stations in Nebraska.
Oh, we got like 6. But
6.
But yeah,
well, I tell you what, that's probably a really cool place to ride around. You got a long trip. If you don't have a lot of FM stations in summertime, sporadic E is probably amazing in that thing. Just put it on the scan and drive down the road and see you pick up some stations.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. I've never seen anything like that.
Cool. Super cool.
Somebody was doing I was watching a DX channel, like a FM DX channel. It might have been an AM DX channel, but the guy, depending upon where he would move his radio, he could pick up 2 different radio stations at the same time on the same frequency. So he would like move it over a couple of feet and pick up one, and then move it over this way and get another. But that happens.
Yeah, there's some good. I think some of the better medium wave SDR software can help you filter and do that type of thing too. And then that's the beauty. Like, we go back to this thing is just turn it for AM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And pick up. Like I can tell you right now, England is that way because that's where I listen. I listen to I speak English. I listen to a lot of English.
The BBC,
Absolute Radio, Radio Caroline. They have some. They still have good AM radio in the UK.
No, that's awesome. I've been meaning to buy that antenna for years. I just never did it.
It's fun.
That'll go well with your 7610.
I have not ordered the set. For everybody who wants to know, I have not ordered the 7610, and I'm not planning on it for some time.
You're doing that 599
wait till I
dirty,
start
son.
chatting you tonight.
You're doing that.
Hey, I ordered a new 7610.
Well, the thing is, the 7610 is on a $300 sale right now, right? So that is 100% how they get you, because you start being like, well, maybe I'll just get it next spring, but will it be $300 off?
Price is going up for the holidays, man. Don't forget,
right.
November's coming around. Black Friday price increases.
They start to get all whipped up.
I don't I don't have any money left. I'm buying an $891. So
right.
Yeah.
And you're going to use that ATU 100, so you're all set.
I'm set.
So can you get that? Have you tried getting anything shipped over there when you order this stuff? Shipping is probably stupid expensive.
Shipping to here is very difficult. We had a guy I work with. His laptop went out, and we from the States shipped him a laptop. He still doesn't have it. He's back in the States. It's like a month and a half, and then they wanted, and then they wanted like what equated to be almost the price of the laptop and duties and import fees. So it's a pain in the butt. I'm not even going to try it. I bought an old communist era radio from here, and I shipped it back, and it got back there in like 10 days. I DHL'd it from here to home. Went no problem.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
And your wife said, "There's another radio here, Walt."
Oh yeah, it's one of those boxes in my back room in my shack.
Discreet shipping.
Yeah.
You got something to do when you get home, then, man. You got to
do
a whole project list, right?
I got to see. I got the Ten-Tech. I've got the old Yaesu. I've got that. It's called a Monica. It's an old communist era radio receiver from here.
From the 90s.
Yeah, from the 90s. I've got a couple of the little things. I'm obviously going to have a 10 amp Schnitt power coming, and it could. I think with the 891, what I got to do is order it about like 2 days, maybe a day before I leave Poland. That way I can beat it to the door. You know what I mean? And
well, see, the thing is, you might want to see about you have to make sure the regions are right, but off of MTNS or MS&T, whatever, Martin Lynch and Sons,
MLS.
MLS.
I mean, because it might be cheaper to order it over there and then
just get it here and bring it back.
Yeah, because the pound to dollar is not real good.
But the other one is like, do you have like what do they call it, the PX commissary or whatever it is?
Oh yeah, all the time. I go there every day. As a matter of fact, so where I'm working at it's a military base. It's a U.S. base. So I every day eat in the mess hall and then go to the NEX and shop there. But it's a small NEX. It's about the size of a 7-Eleven store, if you know what I mean. It's just convenient stuff. Is all it is.
Navy base, Army base.
It's a joint forces.
Joint
but
service base.
It's called it's actually called a naval support facility. So it's run by the Navy, the U.S. Navy. But we have Army here, we have Navy here, we have quite a few different people here. So
all getting along, I would imagine.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes I'm more of a Navy guy. I'm a Navy contractor. Every once in a while, those Army guys kind of we have our moments. So it's actually the Army Corps of Engineers. So I'm a design engineer. I don't know if you guys do this, but so what I do is my company designs things, and then I go out in the field as the liaison when it's getting built or tested or whatever. So people ask me, "Can you roughly describe what you do?" I say, "I just go out in the field and get yelled at because people can't read our drawings." That's my life.
Gotcha. No, but I've heard that you can get pretty cool stuff at those places. I guess it's some of the bigger ones is probably.
Yeah.
Now, how far are you from Germany? You said you're close to Germany, right?
I think it's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive to Berlin, but I'm not far from Germany. If you look at the north coast of Poland, I'm kind of not quite in the middle up on the Baltic. I'm a little closer east. Like I'm about 60 miles from Gdansk, which is right up there, so 60, maybe 50 miles from Gdansk. I mean, the radio and TV and everything here is Gdansk.
Have you tried to operate up on the Baltic?
I went one day to do it, and like I was saying earlier, it was so damn crowded I couldn't get out on the beach. So that's probably going to happen maybe next weekend. This weekend, thought about doing it this weekend, but it's wet, damp, misty, rainy, and I was just like, I don't care about that.
And it's not wet, damp, and misty inside. That's right.
That's right. I've got the perfect setup here. I mean, here I'll take this around and show you. So here's I'm in the back corner of a room, as you can see it here, and that's where I was. There's the G90. You can see it. Anyway,
hey, look at that.
Yeah, there it is. Everything else, and so this is the window here looking out, and then if you can see it over here, my coax going out to my off-center fed dipole there. So that's
you got some property out there to mess with. Nice.
Oh yeah. This is this is the room upstairs. The house is super nice. This is the room that it's really cool because the bedroom that I'm in upstairs is right out back, and it's pretty cool. I got everything set up here. I could not ask for a better situation for operating, while being on the road. Sorry if that was shaky when I was showing you.
It's no more than what Jim shows.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was gonna say it can't be any worse than Chuck.
Yeah. How did Larry? Larry had Hayden on last night.
He did.
So
I try to. Here's the problem when Larry's on right now. I have to catch myself because Larry comes on. It's 9, 10 o'clock here, and I'm a couple drinks deep. And then I get in the chat, and I was like, I get ready. I was like, "No, man, you're drinking. Stop! Don't say that." You know what I mean?
Where you're like the guy at the pizza place. Yeah.
It don't stop Don. It doesn't stop Don. Don doesn't get off my lawn, Don. It doesn't bother him at all.
Yeah. I love watching his feeds. He's great, man. Larry's awesome.
Larry has a lot of energy.
He does. I've never asked or looked at. Was he into radio? Because the guy reminds me. Yeah, he reminds me.
You can absolutely tell. Like I asked him that when he first was getting started. I was like, dude, you got to have a radio background.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted to be a lifelong broadcaster. And it's cool now that he does the show the way he does, because to me, his show feels like a broadcast radio show. It's
right.
If like some YouTube guys sound more podcasty, some of them are more like infomercially, some of them are more instructional, but his to me sounds like a radio show that you would listen to back in the day.
He's awesome and a heck of a nice guy. You just see it when he's talking, man. He's
for
just
sure.
a great person, really is. I thoroughly enjoy his stuff.
Yeah, I do too. Here he is saying how nice we are. Well, it's not going to last, Larry.
Larry, we're watching you. You slip up, we will be there.
The balance is running low. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, if you're watching, I had a short stint in radio for 2 years. I was on WGH in Norfolk, Virginia. I did a talk show there, a call-in show. It was a sports talk. We were an ESPN affiliate at the time, so I had a little bit of radio, AM radio, back in it's about 24 years ago. But I enjoyed it. I was the same way. I wanted to be an AM radio talk show host for the rest of my life. Yeah, I went broke doing that. So
yeah, well, that's a tough job, right? I mean, like those guys don't get paid very well, and they work pretty hard, right?
Yeah, I had a one night a week. It was just a little small gig. One night a week, I did a show. We had a minor league hockey team here, so I did the hockey hour. It was just an hour long on Wednesday nights, and it was just during the winter when hockey was going on, I mean, I still got it ingrained in my mind, the phone number and everything for this call-in thing. But it was WGH. We were ESPN 1310 in the Hampton Roads, Virginia market. And that was nice until the format changed. And I went back to being a structural engineer.
I hate the way that radio has become. Like, I just remember radio stations would have us, like when I was a kid, it was like, oh, if you listen to that station, we're not going to be buddies. You have to listen to this station, because each station has its own personality and its own
ethos.
Music. Yeah, and you liked what you liked. When they started doing the format changes in the 90s, when they went to, what is it called, like Jack FM or something like that?
Yeah.
Every radio station sounds the same. And like even today with a lot of the satellite radio, it's all pre-recorded, right? So some guy comes in and reads a script of like 20 different sentences, and then some college intern is the one who's going to cut that up, put music in between it, create a cart,
right,
and then play it for a 4-hour block on TV or in the radio.
I grew up listening to WLS in Chicago with Larry, Lou Jack, and Little Tommy.
I remember WLS.
Yeah, see, that stuff's cool, right? Because it was like a regional personality thing.
Yep. Lou Jack was, I mean, those two knuckleheads were on that station, Jesus, forever. God,
I grew up, I lived on the Gulf Coast as a kid, and I could still hear the jingle of the radio station, the AM station that I listened to was WTIX in New Orleans. I can still hear dun 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 dun. I mean, it never goes away. You know what I mean? It's like that was when radio was so cool.
Well, YouTube's really, really cool for that, because you can go and YouTube search like old radio stations and stuff like that and listen to it.
Yeah, air checks and that type of thing. I enjoy listening to those. There's a couple people that post those are pretty good. Although they have what's called scoping them and take the music out so that you don't get the the copyright deal or whatever. So it's but
yeah, I like that when they're like, all right, now to the eye in the sky, and you have some guy flying around in the helicopter you can barely hear, and all the.
That's what I listen to in the car mostly. I have. What is it? iHeartRadio, I guess.
Yeah,
and then there's a list of stations that transmit or broadcast whatever through iHeart. So I listen to the Chicago stations that way. And of course, it's always hysterical listening to Chicago traffic reports. And I'm in Alabama, and it's like, not my problem today, fellas.
I listen to 5.2 in case there's an emergency.
I've got guard on mine. I've got the guard frequency on mine.
Someone in here said WGH Boston is NPR. WGH is not in Boston. It is definitely in Norfolk, Virginia Beach. It's one of the few stations that kept the 3-letter call signs from early in the 20s and 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
WGH stands for World's Greatest Harbor. That was what it meant. So, WGH is absolutely Norfolk, Virginia. There is a
WGBH is in Boston.
Yeah. But WGH,
because Hollywood's up in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were.
So he knows all them.
Still there. Yeah, WGH.
He knows all them fancy radio stations up there.
Yep.
Norfolk. Isn't that how they say that over there? Is Norfolk? And
Yeah, there's no L in it.
Norfolk. Yeah, I got Norfolk jokes, but we will leave them alone.
Those are not. Yeah, I can imagine.
But there was like, we don't drink, we don't smoke, and then you say the name of the city, and that's
right.
But
yeah, well, we got it. We're about at the hour and a half mark, dude.
We are.
Does anybody in the chat have any other questions, or did you boys have anything that you wanted to plug or bring up? Or
yes, we have car tennis at www.coffeeandhamradios.com. If one of you gentlemen will post a link.
I did
Our shipping department is off for the weekend. We do let him do other things occasionally. And we have plenty of them in stock and available for your antennaing pleasure.
Is that Cartana going to work with 100 watts in my FT?
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Cool.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. All of the Cartenas are designed for QRO operation.
That antenna will be featured in a Coastal Waves and Wires video from Poland in November.
Oh, I can't wait. That'll be excellent. Steve updated the website yesterday afternoon and made it a little prettier than it was. I went with kind of the default tone. I am not an artiste. So what is it? $74.99
$74.99
plus shipping, because shipping. And someone asked me the other day, and they never got a hold of me. I don't remember who it was. Somebody overseas, for our overseas viewers. If you are interested in ordering a Cartena, you need to just contact one of us through Discord, because it's a whole thing to ship overseas, and we have to manually do it.
Yeah, you can just email coffeeandhamradios@gmail.com or get us on Discord. It's the best way. And, and we can talk about it.
I find that if you DM at the Smokin' Ape, 10:30 at night, he'll agree to almost anything.
Yeah.
So I get him to buy scopes and
you guys have a
spectrum
special
analyzers.
relationship, though.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, with some of the international stuff, I remember we sent the antenna overseas and they didn't get it, months ago, all this time frame that goes by. And then, you're like, well, do I send another one? And they end up with two. And how are you going to get it back if you get two? It's just a huge pain in the hind end. Yeah.
Well, and shipping is going to be generally kind of stupid.
It depends, but yeah. I mean, like, I remember we sent one to Canada, and there was somebody else. I think it was Morton, right? Mortensen. I thought the Swede was. I was talking to him about it, and the shipping was like $40 or something. I was like, dude, just don't do it. It's not worth it.
Joe Brett, I do know the right web address. We have two of them. We actually have three. I'm giving you one of them.
Both work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him riled up. He's going to start talking about Kaneki and IT.
I will. Back in Kaneki, this is how we did it. We have multiple websites. We are a global reach organization with manual overseas shipping.
She was talking about pay the VAT. I was talking to Hayden, and he ordered a Buddy Hex, whatever the hex beam antenna, and a Mastworks. The amount of money he had to pay in VAT to get that thing in Australia was crazy. I was like, you must have really wanted that antenna.
Now, Santiago has got a great setup because he has people related to him or buddies in Miami. So he has a Miami mailing address because he bought one of my old rig experts, and I was going to ship it to him, and it was going to cost like $60 or $80 to ship that thing to him. And he said, "Oh, never mind, send it."
And he's in Costa Rica or Puerto Rico?
Dominican.
All right.
He's in the Dominican Republic. And it was going to cost, like I think $80 to ship a rig expert to him in Dominican. And he has a Miami address. He said, no, use the Miami address. And I got people, and we meet every so often and exchange goods under the bypass in Miami on the Tamiami.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to hear any of that.
Nothing sketchy about that at all. So yeah, that's what he's got going on is, that kind of deal. And it was Raphael. Raphael's in Brazil. He was asking about his American license. But he has a brother that lives in Arizona, so he's going to go at it that way, see if he can get an American license because he can't. He has to do code to upgrade in Brazil.
That's how they get you.
And we, of course, are heathens without code. Men without code.
Right.
No code hams.
Well, you got anything you wanted to cover there? Any plugs or anything like that, Walt? You got coming up?
Not really. Like I said, just appreciate everybody that supported the channel. This thing's starting to take off and grow, and it's wonderful. I've got, when I get back, I definitely want to get back on the beach. The month of October, that's the best time of the year, honestly, is October. So I'm looking forward to that. I plan on heading down to the Outer Banks a couple times, and it looks like I'll be doing a video on the FT891 on the beach. That's kind of you guys sold me. T.O., you sold me. I'm gonna get one.
Hey, Walt, you're welcome to come up to Wisconsin in like January or February if you want to operate on one of the lake beaches here. They get really big, lots of room.
For the last 3 Januaries in a row, and it was December this past year, I've been in Marinette, Wisconsin, up by the UP. We have a shipyard that we work with up there, so I've been up there. Yeah,
did you tell them they need to plan those trips for the summertime?
I tell you what, they have the best beer I've ever had. As far as a light beer, it's called Spotted Cow up there. That beer is so good. I enjoy Spotted Cow beer.
Better than Miller Lite?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a long list of things that are better than Miller Lite.
CoffeeandHamRadios.com, Greg. CoffeeandHamRadios.com.
But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much. I enjoy this so much. I enjoy it, and I kind of miss it, is being in the chat during these things, because the banter with you guys, is just, I mean, it's freaking gold. And I love doing this, and I appreciate so much inviting me on here, Ape, and to be a part of this, because you guys rock, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
No, you got open invite anytime you want to come on, man. We totally appreciate it. It's funny because I was actually in the Outer Banks like a year and a half ago, so maybe 2 years ago, and I was looking for something to watch because it was night, getting winding down, and your video started popping up. That's when I first saw you, and I don't know if it had something to do with I was in the Outer Banks, or that was when I just remember I was like, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen this guy's channel before, and then I remember asking T.O. and everybody, like, do you know this guy? And he was like, I don't know, maybe not. And then, man, I guess you're welcome anytime. We have a great time. And we want to help everybody who's doing the ham radio YouTube stuff, getting the message out. And it's fun for us. It's fun for us.
You're an outstanding guest. You have excellent guest qualities.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I've always
Jim, you got something on your nose.
I have a face for radio, but that's okay. It's all good.
Let me get it. Did I get it? Is it going?
Yeah, no, you guys are awesome. Yeah, you guys.
It's my face.
All right, T, you got anything, or am I hitting the button?
Hit the button, bro.
Hit the button.
Thanks, everybody.
Smack it like it owes you money.
Appreciate it, everybody, and we'll see you next time.